Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day. What is your story?
My name's Kelly. I'm 22.
Oh, all right. That's part of your story?
Yes.
All right. This is a story about Kelly, 22. And what is Kelly's story?
And
It's a very emotional story. What is it emotional about? Take your time. What are you feeling?
what was that?
What are you feeling?
It's overwhelming. It's really exciting that,
Are you feeling love within yourself?
yes.
All right.
And I'm starting to realize,
That you deserve it?
yes,
Oh, all right. That's a nice story.
for a long time I felt empty and sad and
Yes. You told yourself a very empty story for a long time. But now you are telling a very fulfilling story.
yes. And
Yes.
part of it is as I'm growing and I'm starting to learn a lot.
Yes. Which is what growing is all about.
Yes. A lot of it is memories that I'm trying to
Not trying.
that I'm remembering.
Yes.
And I just
That
wanted
have to do with what?
with myself as a young girl,
Yes.
because I feel a lot of things I blocked out, and I started to forget who I was, and
All right.
because it was painful to think about it.
All right. But now you understand that you can invent yourself at every moment as a new person. Yes?
Yes.
And as you do so, the things that you're calling past memories actually have no longer any relevance for you because you're not that person anymore. Literally. They literally have nothing to do with you anymore if you choose to define yourself that way. Do you understand this concept?
Yes, but sure.
All right.
And every day
Yes.
I remember I spend time by myself, remembering myself as a child. Now that I'm now that I'm accepting and trying to get rid of those blocks. And one of
It's
them,
not about trying to get rid of the blocks. It's about investigating the belief systems that you've bought into and identifying those beliefs so that you can recognize that the beliefs that are out of alignment with your truth don't belong to you and you can let them go. You may have simply been given them by parents, by friends, by society, but once you identify them as someone else's beliefs, you will understand they don't belong to you and you can let them go because you don't want to carry what doesn't belong to you. You understand?
yes,
So let them go if they don't belong to you. Because once you understand they don't belong to you, they have no more effect on you. Because effect is only what you choose to be affected by. And if you have beliefs that are unconscious, you feel the effect because you're not aware of what the belief is. But once you know what the belief is, once you identify it, it no longer has an effect because you can recognize you no longer prefer it to have an effect. You're no longer choosing it to have an effect. And so it no longer does. Identification of the beliefs is key.
thank you. And one more is, as I'm remembering these memories of myself as a kid, a lot of them, they are exciting and I feel really happy when I think about it, but then in the end, I feel, at the end of that realization, I feel sad because it's
All right.
gone. And
Because it's what? You feel sad because it's what?
it's not gone. I know.
It will never go away. Remember that growth is the process of inclusion, not exclusion. You will always be aware of that as a possible experience, but you can understand you don't have to choose to buy into that experience as having anything to do with the you you're defining yourself to be now. Do you understand the difference?
Yes.
If you truly are a different person, if you truly define yourself as a new person, then linearly speaking, from a space-time perspective, if you truly have defined yourself as a new person, then wouldn't you as a new person have a different past? than the person that was there a moment ago?
Could you repeat that one more time?
Yes, I can. And for the first time, if you truly understand that you're defining yourself as a new person and understand clearly that when you do redefine yourself as a new person, that this is not just a metaphorical idea, that you literally are a new person, then linearly speaking, from your space-time perspective, every different person has a different history. So if you really are defining yourself as a different person than you used to be, then you have a different past. You have a different childhood. Define the childhood that belongs to the person you're defining yourself to be now as a young adult. You can define the childhood now. You create the past from the present, not the other way around. The past does not define the present unless you choose to create that illusion. But you're creating that illusion from the present because you only exist in the present. So any so-called past that you're remembering, you're actually creating the relationship to that idea now from the person you're defining yourself to be. So if you define yourself differently, you can actually know you've created a different past, a different relationship. So define the child you'd prefer to be, or in your language, define the childhood you would prefer to have had that is relevant for the person you're defining yourself to be now, and recognize that the so-called memories of the childhood you don't prefer belong to another woman. They don't belong to you. It's her childhood, not yours. Not yours, literally not yours. It's not about ignoring it. It's not about covering it up. It's about acknowledging it as the stepping stone that you were able to use to define who it is you prefer to be. And in so doing, the childhood she had helped you become the person you are that has a different childhood. That's the paradox. Is this making sense?
Yes.
So you, whoever you are now, never had that childhood, even though you can still be aware of those so-called memories, but those so-called experiences belong to her, not you. She's in another reality now. You're not her any longer. Literally. I don't care what you think you still look like in the mirror. That's just an illusion of continuity. You're actually a different person, literally, because person is an artificial construct. Personality is just composed of beliefs and emotions and thoughts and behaviors. It's a mask that the consciousness wears to have a physical experience. It's just part of the ego structure mask. Personality, when you change anything about your beliefs or your feelings or your behaviors or your thoughts, you actually change the person, literally, that you are. Even though you think you look the same, you're actually not the same person. You just look similar to her. That's all. Similar, because you're creating the sense of similarity. But in fact, as many people on your planet have already experienced, when you change yourself enough, when you know you've changed yourself enough, you can actually look so different, because you really are a different person, that some of your quote-unquote friends may actually not recognize you. Who are you? Oh, I didn't recognize. Why do you look so different? Because I am. I am a different person. Now, you have maintained a connection with those people in a manner. You've co-created a reality together with those friends so that you're interacting with a version in your reality, a version of those friends that contains the ability to recognize the difference. Were you to simply not need that experience, then you would simply be capable of changing enough. I'm just talking about a possibility here. You would be capable of changing your appearance to match the differences within you enough so that any of the people that the old person used to call friends would actually literally not recognize you when you walk by and wouldn't even say you look different. They just wouldn't know who you were. But you don't necessarily want to create that much detachment, so you maintain the idea of the version of them that will recognize the difference, but will also show you that you really have changed. You can use the friends as a reflective mirror in that way to prove to yourself you really are a different person by having them reflect to you that they almost didn't recognize you.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
But you really are a different person. Literally. Take me literally. This is not a metaphor.
Yes.
It's not an analogy. Everything you change, every time you change, changes everything, literally. You are in an entirely different parallel reality as an entirely different person, if that's how you choose to define yourself to be. And you can know that whoever was here a moment ago, whoever she was, wish her well, bless her, give her unconditional love. But those memories of childhood are hers. They're not yours. Does that help you?
Yes. And one more thing.
Yes.
Part of my story.
Yes.
In my dream state,
Yes.
I have a reoccurring dream.
Yes. How exciting.
And
Do share. Yes. Do you need a hug?
I'm at the ocean and
Do
I'm,
you need a hug?
yes. I don't.
Somebody give her a hug. No, there is nothing to apologize for. This is the process of discovering your beliefs. You see, you have been bold enough and strong enough to choose an event, an experience called experiencing a lot of emotionality so that I may recognize through these emotions what I believe to be true. Very bold, very strong, very exciting story. I'm on the edge of my seat. And so is the channel's body.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
so this reoccurring story is what?
I'm at the beach
Yes.
and I see this tidal wave.
Yes.
And it's coming.
Yes. Yes.
And I usually it varies.
Yes.
Sometimes I feel really scared and I paralyze.
Yes.
But then the wave lands on me.
Yes.
And I just float with it. Like I feel like I'm gonna
Yes.
get hurt or something.
And
But I go along into the wave
what happened then?
and then I wake up.
And then what happened? Don't you hear that a lot in stories? And then what happened?
Yes.
How exciting.
And
You
I'm
understand the symbology archetypally for yourself?
That's what I'm trying to understand because sometimes
Water represents emotion. You said you're overwhelmed by your emotional feelings, the tidal wave. But if you go with the flow, you're all right. Your emotions can't smash you if you go with the flow. You won't be overwhelmed if you go with the flow. You'll be fine.
Thank you.
That's the story of the tidal wave. Does that help you?
Yes.
Then pleasant dreams to you in your new story.
Thank you, Bashar.
My, what a loud story.
Hey, Bashar.
And to you, good day. What is your story?
First, I have a story of gratitude to
All
you
right.
and your family.
Our story of gratitude to you as well.
Thank you. In my story, I know I've chosen the theme of soul awakening.
Well, that's true of many of you, actually.
Yeah, well, yeah,
But
I
your
recognize that.
version of it is your story.
Yes.
All right.
And many
Congratulations.
other versions are here.
Yes, congratulations on such an exciting story choice. Soul awakening. How does it go? How does this story go for you?
Well, I'm still expressing gratitude. It's still a story of gratitude.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
To finding within myself, because I know you are within myself,
Yes.
a great mentor and a true friend.
As you are to us. Remember, you're mentors to us as well.
Yes.
And so?
I've also attracted myself in this story
Yes.
to information about whom we on this earth call masters.
Yes.
Not masters of limitation. Well, yeah, they would be masters of limitation because they have mastered themselves and limitation.
All right. Yes.
They talk about Neptune and
Are you referring to the idea of the planet in your system or the archetypal God form?
well, I'm not exactly sure, but they say Neptune.
Yes.
Taking this on as much as I understand it,
Yes.
they talk about a civilization who composes the root race to humanity and whose teachings they now live by.
All right, but you understand there are no other indigenous physical life forms such as your civilization physically on any planets in your system.
Not physically, right.
They are talking about the idea of the connection of non-physical consciousness beings to different archetypal planets in your system.
Right.
Because the resonant vibration of those beings simply matches the resonant vibration of those planets as you have laid your system out archetypally.
Right.
All right.
So
they identify with them in that way.
right.
All right,
And their teachings.
All right, and so how does that archetypal story serve you? Why have you attracted yourself to this?
Because I want to live that story.
Which is, in a nutshell, in 25 words or less, pitch it to us. What's that story?
The story of mastery over self, mastery over limitation, to become a being who also projects and represents the world's spirit.
It is not mastery over self. It is mastery of self.
Oh, right. Because it includes, right?
Yes. And you don't lose yourself. You will always be what you consider to be you, no matter how high you go.
No. I had no intention to convey the thought that I would lose myself because I must retain my essence.
We are just more clearly delineating the definition that goes with the idea called mastery over self.
Yeah.
That implies within the definition that you lose the self. That's why mastery of self is more of an appropriate way to define it, because then it's all inclusive and you don't lose the self-identity.
This and that.
Yes, this and that, not this or that, this and that.
Okay. As far as the identifying with those teachings.
Yes.
And I know I can use my own synchronicity to attract them, but
well, you always do.
Yes.
And so?
Could you throw me a bone?
A thigh bone? An arm bone? What kind of a bone?
A bone of information.
About what?
About these teachings.
But you haven't shared your story about it yet. How does it resonate for you? So that we can throw you the bone that resonates to your particular interpretation of the story. Mm-hmm. Put it out there and you'll get something back.
Well, I'm living my story.
Pitch us the story that attracts you. Why are you attracted to this particular resonant story?
Because it represents my ultimate beauty as a being experiencing physical reality.
But what are the specifics of this story that do that for you? What are you specifically resonating to in terms of the structure of this story? What are the elements in the story?
To become a being that expresses compassion and is removed from suffering.
Removed? You mean you're not choosing to suffer?
Right.
All right, well then don't choose to suffer.
Anyway.
Do you want the story to be more complicated than that?
No.
All right. Well, I've just thrown you a bone. Don't choose to suffer. Don't choose to identify any experience you have as suffering. And you won't experience it that way. Can it be that simple?
Of course.
Does that help you?
Yes.
Does that answer your question?
Well, I wanted to know if there are any physicalized information about these teachings that they have represented in the story.
Are you looking for a permission slip?
Yeah.
A physical permission slip? Well, hasn't your imagination come up with something that's a physicalized representation of these teachings?
Not that I have currently.
Well, why don't you use your imagination to do so if that's what you want? Maybe you don't need one.
Are you talking about the idea of creating them?
If you want to create a physicalized version or a physicalized representation of this particular permission slip of energy, you have the imagination to do so. If you haven't invented what you're asking for, maybe you don't really believe you need it.
Well, I imagine them to be in some sacred temple in the Far East.
Oh, all right.
Written on manuscripts.
All right. Then why not join them and write your own manuscript? And that will be your permission slip. Yes?
Of course.
Well, that was easy, yes?
It's always easy.
Yes. There you go. So write your story out in manuscript form if that's what it takes to represent that energy for you. If that's what it takes to resonate within your story, join them. in what you imagine they're doing archetypally and become one of them and do what they do. Remember that by mirroring what you imagine is representative of that reality, you will then be expressing through physical action the vibrations of that reality. You will be a being in that reality, and thus then the things that are germane to that reality. Can
you define that a little? Germane, I don't really understand that.
Relevant.
All right.
But there was another connotation that you may discover later.
Yeah, because I noticed you broke it down in a very
Yes, I did.
particular way.
But that's going to be one of those funny little clues in your story that you're going to have to become a detective to discover.
A detection story, I love that.
All right. So go to your temple, write your manuscript, become a detective. You will see.
Yes, and I am doing my best to...
I know.
All right.
That's all you need to do.
Thank you,
Thank you.
teacher. We love you.
Our unconditional love to you as well.
Hi, Bashar.
And you good day.
Good day to you. Andy Esasani. I've been looking forward to speaking with you in this moment.
All right. And through what story will you be doing so?
Well, it's going to start with a Father's Day story.
Father's Day story.
Yes, because it is Father's Day on Earth.
Yes, we understand.
I was wondering, do you guys have those days?
No.
No, you don't.
Every day.
Every day is a celebration.
Yes.
Okay.
We do not delineate the idea of special days in that way specifically.
In what way do you?
We don't.
You just don't.
There are recognitions of certain things that happened in what you would call our history that are noted for their particular vibrational resonance, but we don't surround them with the kinds of rituals that you do. We simply experience that vibration and move forward.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to express that since we're talking about stories, I wanted to share with you how my dad would say that. He'd say,
all right,
I'd tell you a story, because he likes pirate stuff, so he would say that. So I just wanted to share that with you. And my story actually starts a bit with my dad.
Yes.
We just saw the movie Thor.
Oh, all right.
And it was, I didn't really want to see it at first, but he's like, no, you really will love seeing this movie. You got to see it.
And did you?
I did. And I was exhilarated. And, if you
Why?
guys, because I saw these different beings
Yes.
in the galaxy, other races, and I felt such a connection to them. And I wish I was there with them, acting
all
out
right.
the different...
Does that mean you're also going to go see the latest movie entertainment that also deals with other beings in the galaxy?
There's one that I do plan to go see. It's the...
Is it the color green?
Green Lantern,
All
yes.
right.
And I did have a question about that.
Yes.
There's been talk that, as open contact becomes, more open,
Yes.
that society will start showing more of what other races look like. Is that right? Not right, but...
Do you mean, will your depictions in your science fiction stories become more accurately representative of
Yes.
some of the races that exist?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and does that movie reflect that?
Some.
Okay.
Now, again, remember, anything you can imagine is real because you cannot
Right.
imagine non-existence. But when I say some, I mean some that are relevant to anything that you could experience as being somewhat similar to your understanding of reality. All of them
Okay.
are real in their own context, but may not be relevant to your dimension of experience. But some actually are.
Okay. Thank you. So when I was watching the movie Thor, I felt like I wanted to be there, and I was kind of meditating on that later on after the movie, and my inner guidance told me, because I was asking, well, why am I not there if
You
I
are.
like it so much?
You are. You are not, but you
Right.
are.
Right. And I received that. Well, that is part of you. That is
Yes.
you. And
That's why you resonate to it.
Right. And you're on Earth to bring that here
Yes.
as an emanation.
Yes.
So I
you're the
was-
conduit. You're the valve
Yeah.
through which you can bring that energy down to earth and give off a vibration that will allow choices to be made that are in alignment with that frequency.
Yes. So I was very happy.
That's
with
why you have these kinds of stories. That's why one of the most powerful storytelling tools you have is movies, because it really gives you an interactive experience. And what you call theme parks, it gives you an interactive experience of story. And thus it sinks in because you're actually viscerally there in the vibration and together, unified in many ways.
I feel that a lot. And
yes.
The next
now,
part of
we
the
wish
story,
to also point out a very interesting polarity happening at this time with respect to these kinds of stories that involve what you call extraterrestrial beings. Because in this moment right now, you actually have presented at the same time a completely polarized idea of this notion in your entertainment. You have the idea we have just discussed of a story that involves the idea of what you would call an interstellar peacekeeping corps of extraterrestrials, and at the same time you are also premiering
the Transformers movie.
That, and also another one called
Cowboy.
Falling Skies, where your world is dominated by extraterrestrials on your television sets. So you have presented the polarity for yourself so that you can explore and play with the idea of both sides simultaneously. You're bringing these creations closer and closer and closer to the center point so that you can really experience the balance of the dark and the light, the balance of the negative and the positive, and really decide what you prefer by exploring these stories so close to each other, on top of each other even. Good timing.
Yeah. Thank you for expanding on that. I remember the first time I heard you speak of the EIL, the Shalanaya.
Yes.
And all the senses in my being just perked up.
All right.
And I got goosebumps.
They are part of your story.
Yes,
you are part of theirs.
They are. And I have...
They are one of the other hybrid races, the first one that will contact your world for those asking the question in their minds, what's the Shalanaya?
And I got goosebumps, and I never get goosebumps that I remember except for when I'm cold. And so I thought, I always heard people talk about getting goosebumps, but I've never got them. And then so when I got them, I was like,
well,
whoa.
now I can't say that anymore.
I know, right? I can't say that anymore. And I was like, wow, that is true. And as I listened to it, the goosebumps they were like waves. They just continued to like electrify me.
Yes.
And
you understand fundamentally what that effect is you call goosebumps?
I don't know.
The idea is that they will be constrictions around the hair follicles that will allow the hair follicles to rise up and become more receptive antennas to that energy.
Oh, wow. That's neat.
Yes.
Thank you for expanding on that. And so as I continued to listen to that, I just closed my eyes and I got a sense as if I was there with them. Even now, like I feel like I can tap into them.
Yes,
and there's been certain occurrences and instances, one being all of the month of May, I saw these clouds over Mount Baldy, that's close to where I live, that I've never seen like that ever before. They look like the ones on Mount Shasta.
Yes.
You know, and they were over Mount Baldy, the range,
Yes.
and the whole month of May. I haven't seen them June, but I just thought, wow, that is so amazing. I felt like that was their presence showing themselves.
Well, in a
here.
sense, it is more the idea of your collective consciousness creating symbolic representations of what you are becoming more and more aware of, and in a sense, preparing yourselves for something more solid. You're using your own weather, you're using your own clouds to create shapes to represent what you will actually ultimately see in physical form.
Okay.
You're preparing yourselves
and I
for
felt,
contact with those forms. They're like placeholders.
And
because you are changing your weather.
right. I was wondering if you could tell a bit of a story of maybe some of the things you know that the Shalanaya or the IL would like for us to know at this time where we're at on Earth, and how we can be more open to
All
them.
right.
And how...
Water is very important. The more you allow yourself to allow crystallization, purification, higher resonance energies to, in that sense, interact with the structure of the water that you drink, the more you will aid and assist in the clarification of your bodily systems and the increasing of the silicon in your systems to make you more receptive to our frequencies, more receptive to our communications, so that you may receive those communications and the beginning of dialogues that will lay down the foundations and lay down the paths of our eventual contact. Water is key.
Thank you.
That is the message from them.
I heard them. Thank you. I was wondering if you could share some knowledge on the different visuals of some of our extraterrestrial races, such as the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Sirians, and the Argarthians. Do they look similar?
Pleiadians, in that sense, are genetically connected to you. You are like long-lost cousins. So in that sense, they are very humaniform. The idea of the physical race in the star system of Sirius is that which has been described as somewhat amphibious, in that sense, somewhat salamanderish. The idea of the non-physical consciousness connected to Sirius is, of course, non-physical. The idea of Arcturus energy in that sense is also a non-physical consciousness that does not have form in the way you would understand it, but is represented by the idea of the glowing orange orbs that many of you have seen.
Oh, okay.
What you are referring to as a Garthan in that sense is actually known by another frequency altogether that is very ancient, and they do not share the idea of physical form as you know it. There are other races that you will encounter eventually in time that are not like your species at all. We have from time to time described some of these. We will not really go into the list right now, but will at what you call a future time focus on the idea of a transmission that describes many of these races.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the sharing of your story.
Thank you. I have some more, if that's okay. It's
Your
okay.
story has an epilogue.
Yes, yes.
Make it brief.
Okay. I've heard you speak of the span between 2010 and 2015 and the sensing of energy at that moment.
Yes, the splitting prism.
And can you speak a little more on the splitting prism and where the energy on Earth is at this sensing of the energy?
The trains are already leaving the station. The tracks are getting slightly farther and farther apart. Be on the train you wish to be on before you can never reach the other track.
Right.
That's all we will say for now.
Okay.
Take everything we have said in the transmission over the course of what you call these 3 days and apply it to decide and choose what story you will be, what track you will be on.
Thank you. I am.
All right. Thank you.
Good day, Bashar.
And a you good day. Tell us a story.
Well, first I want to say that I'm very grateful to have this opportunity to speak with you again today.
As are we.
So I'm really excited about this story.
All right.
It happened to me about 3 months ago. I had a dream.
Yes.
And I was in a temple with these, they look like humans, but I think later I figured out that they weren't.
All right.
And I had a really heart-opening experience. And through the heart-opening experience, I woke up. And at the edge of my bed, there was a being at the foot of my bed. And he
Describe.
his head was down at first, and he looked up at me. And his head was bigger on top.
Yes.
His eyes were bigger, but had pupils.
Yes.
They weren't fully black.
Yes.
The nose was small, and
Yes.
so was the mouth. It had like a slit, no lips. His skin appeared glowing green,
All right.
and it seemed like
One
he was...
moment.
Okay.
We are all laughing. All right, go ahead. Somebody was using humor and playing a little bit of a trick on you.
Okay.
But go ahead.
And he was wearing kind of like a red cape thing behind him.
One moment.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
we know who this is. They like to play games and present themselves in certain ways to sort of startle you, wake you up. Kind of like what you call archetypally trickster energy.
But he seemed really compassionate as well.
Oh, yes. There is nothing negative about this. Just playing with you.
And
Giving you a presentation knowing that when you describe this being, people will laugh. They will think you're seeing things.
Well, that's why I don't say this to many.
Well, you've just said it to a lot.
I don't.
But that's all right because they know they're all crazy too.
So, can you tell me a little bit more about who this particular being was, other than the trickster kind of archetype?
It is a being, a hybrid being, using the trickster archetype to communicate to your world and set up certain foundations for future communication with the hybrid children. But it is, in a sense, well, I'm going to put it this way. You understand in what you call Native American societies that the concept of what you call the clown is a little bit different than it is in your culture. The clown is a teacher, a trickster. What in certain native tongues is called a contrary, a heyoka. The clown, as a contrary, often does things that are very strange, dresses up very strangely, does things backwards, in reverse. It shakes people out of their normal, conventional view. And that's the idea that this being is doing. It is presenting itself as a type of contrary, a type of clown, to lighten the mood, to shake things up, to give you something unexpected. There are beings that do this, that specifically do this kind of contact in this way to shake the foundations of your expectations within your consciousness, to actually open doors within your consciousness to be capable of then receiving other things that, had the doors been closed, you would not have been able to perceive. But by giving you something so strange, so surreal, it actually allows you to open doors to receive other things you otherwise would not have been capable of perceiving. Yes, we know who that is. He's
coming to me with a clown suit on with a pig head on before.
Well, there you go, you see?
So I understand.
Yes.
So is this someone... What was funny is because I used to be very scared when I woke up and I would see something.
Yes.
And this time I wasn't.
Yes.
So I guess maybe he was coming to me in this way so I wouldn't be scared.
Coming to you in that way as a representation that you are no longer scared.
Okay.
It's a reflection of the fact that you've changed your story about your relationship to him and to other things.
And how can I further this relationship and this communication with this being?
One moment, we are laughing. Because we're getting the suggestion directly from him. Dress just like him. So that when you wake up in the same kind of cape, in the same kind of clown outfit, you can share a laugh as equals.
Okay.
You asked.
Well, that's very funny, and I like that a lot.
All right, up to you.
Great, and I have one more question.
Yes.
So it's kind of going off the questions that the woman was asking before. Is the representation of our consciousness coming out as the stories that there are many alien movies coming out right now?
Yes.
So is it our growing consciousness that is allowing this to happen?
Yes. The things that happen in your culture are direct reflections of what you are exploring in your consciousness. And now that you have more and more willingness to recognize that you're not alone, that there are other extraterrestrial races, or at least willing to accept that there could be, you're beginning to explore within your consciousness all the ways that you can develop relationships on that level with other civilizations. So this is being reflected, and has been reflected in your consciousness and in your culture now for quite some time.
And these movies are kind of awakening just All of us.
They are reflections of the fact you are awakening.
Oh, okay.
They're not awakening you, but they're reinforcements of the awakening. If you hadn't already awakened to that point, you wouldn't be creating those movies. You understand?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Does
Bashar.
that help you?
Yes, it does very much so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day. What is your story?
It's not so much about my story, but I want to ask about your story and the Essassani story a little bit more.
All right. What do you wish to know about our story?
First of all, how do you say good day in your ancient Essassani language?
Again, it is very similar to the idea. Do you have a word on your planet in one of your languages, the word aloha, yes?
Yes.
It means many things. So does ha'atu.
I see.
Ha'atu means thank you.
Thank
it
you in
means
Hawaiian.
I love you. It means good day. It means many things. Ha'atu is simply the greeting.
I see.
You understand?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Anything else?
So your people, geez, where do I start? Okay, so
Most stories start at the beginning.
if I were to be on your planet right now, you
Yes.
said it's very quiet, right?
Well, yes, in the sense that there are no conversations usually because we do not verbalize.
Sure. Would you be able to telepathically communicate with humans back and forth, or is
Who
that-
are on our world?
Yes.
If
for
they
example.
acclimate to our frequency, yes.
Oh, I see.
If they don't, we would probably have to vocalize.
I see. Without a channel, there might be a language barrier. I would think, huh?
Well, many of us have learned many of your languages. Understand that our language is a hybrid language. Our ancient language was actually constructed out of many of the languages on your planet and other civilizations. So you would actually recognize a lot of it.
Really?
And we can simply adapt to understand because many of us, out of our own excitement, have learned many of your languages.
Oh, that's fascinating. Thank you for taking interest.
Well, that is simply what we're excited to do.
And so you said that when your civilization was starting off, you were
Yes.
given a kind of a database of information
Yes.
from the Greys or
Yes.
the creators. What kind of things did that contain that gave you kind of a jump start to have
Well, a complete
success?
and basic understanding of the idea of our psychological makeup. So that we would understand the idea of what belief systems were all about, what emotions were all about, what our personalities were all about. We were still left to explore some ideas of this, but we understood from what you call the get-go that fear was a choice.
I see.
So we did not really experience what you would call the concept really of conflict on our world. Conflict simply being, if you wish, negotiation with teeth.
I see.
Negotiation based on fear.
And what is the Essassani or Sassani people's relationship to the other hybrid races? Are you do you communicate frequently?
We do, not necessarily frequently with all of them in terms of your time. 4 of them are quite constant. One of them has chosen to be relatively isolated in its exploration of itself.
I see. The Shalanaya, who are supposedly the first to contact us, they are the ones who had the Phoenix Light ship. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to send an invitation to them to come back. And,
Invitations have already been sent. You need send no more.
okay.
They will always answer the invitations in the timing that is appropriate.
And the other thing is a being known as Kayala, who I have asked about previously once, is of which hybrid race?
Partly Shalanaya, partly the 3rd hybrid race.
Does that third hybrid race have a name that is able to be disclosed, or no?
That story is for another time.
Okay. May I just extend to that being a thank you for being willing to undergo the type of interaction that he did with the people of our planet, and we must seem a little bit primitive. And
You are masters. You understand the idea is that it takes a master to choose a reality of such great polarity. We understand what you mean by primitive, but that's just an expression. The idea is that once you realize your mastery, you will not see yourselves as primitives either.
I see. Just wanted to relay that message that it does not go unappreciated.
All right.
What has been done. So
that is
thank you.
understood and reciprocated, and gratitude is given.
Okay, that is all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ha'atu.
At this timing, the story must move to another chapter. Take a short break. We will resume this story transmission with the idea of the experience of your holotope.